version 3.4 has hit live, and it's not an overly large patch in terms of content, but there is a brand new map, as well as some additional tweaks and changes. Now I'm not going to cover too much in this video as it is quite a small patch. We'll mainly be focusing on the new map, so let's get stuck into it. Harju has been added, which is a coastal map set in Finland. It originally was a modification created by Wonder, who now is an off-world developer, so this map sort of came with him. He's been working on it on and off for the past few years, and it has undergone some significant changes since it was a mod. The map's size is 4x4 kilometers, which is 16 square kilometers. Despite the map being based in Finland, the actual geography was taken from a location within Boston on the coast. Now the map is quite industrial based, so there's going to be a lot of warehouses and factories, though there is a nice large main port, which adds a nice little element to the coast. There are some little construction sites. This particular one's quite unique as it has a nice little makeshift bridge. Now there is an Easter egg point of interest. OG alpha testers will recognise it. It's the old favourite cap point storage site from Yihorivka. For those who weren't around back then, Yihorivka was very different to what it is today. Since it was first implemented, it has undergone 2 complete overhauls. And during the first overhaul, storage site was removed and replaced with East and West Moggy. Though it hasn't been added in all its glory, it's just the north side, so those wanting to relive their super fob days in the southwest compound, unfortunately, that dream remains dead. Despite it not being here in all its glory, it's still a nice little tip of the hat and some nice nostalgia for the veteran players. Moving on from the industrial side of things, there is a large urban footprint, and the urban footprint is how I would imagine a Narva overhaul would look like. Harju is kind of like Narva and Black Coast mushed together, and it actually works. After walking through and playing around within the urban footprint of Harju, it really makes me want to see Narva overhauled. For all your level design needs, make sure to stop off at Wondermart. A cool little Easter egg, basically the developer's signature. Now there are militarized locations all over the map too. This particular one here is a shooting range with a little base. There is an airfield that has quite a bit of overgrowth, but it also has a lot of defensive fortifications. This location has a nice balance between open ground and cover and concealment. The hangars are quite detailed inside with a lot of interiors. Between the hangars are some defensive fortifications as well as trenches that connect them together. So it's a completely different dynamic compared to say the airfields on Toledo outskirts. An underground element has been added in the form of missile silos and some tunnel networks. While there is a performance hit inside this location, it runs a lot smoother compared to Subpen on Black Coast, so don't worry too much about that. And this can be said pretty much for Harju as a whole. The map does run a bit smoother compared to Black Coast, but does have similar performance levels. The frame rates are a little more stable and consistent, but still expect some inconsistencies here and there. Overall, the map does run similar to Black Coast, just a little bit better. My overall thoughts of the map is it is a solid map. There are some launch issues with it, with some broken aspects with capture points on some layers, as well as some floating assets here and there, but overall the map design is solid. Just the amount of detailing and variety spread all across the map is going to add a nice little bit of replayability to the map. There's been some changes made to the chat box when playing in game. Now it'll only keep up to date with the most recent messages once it fades away. So if you type something and the chat box fades away, and you type something again, all previous messages will disappear. Now there's probably some admins having an aneurysm right now. Don't fret, when you press enter and on the deployment screen the chat history will all be there for you. It's just a way to minimize the clutter on screen when playing and keeping the most relevant chat history there. But I do think this should be an optional thing. It should have a setting to enable or disable this feature. The last few things I want to cover, there has been a little buff towards the Grenadier kit. The ammo cost per grenade has been reduced from 10 to 7, so this is a 30% reduction. So to put things into perspective, last patch it would cost 100 ammo points for 10 GL grenades. This patch, for 100 ammo points you can get 14, so it is a nice little buff. Last thing to cover is there has been some optimizations done for the water, so it's just general performance improvements. It's nothing too major, expect maybe a bit more stabilized lows, that's about it. Anyway, that's it for this video, hopefully it was informative and I'll catch you guys in the next one.